Indian education, essentially, I would like to, if we have to look at it from the current contemporary context, education is that which gives an employment, or at least something that gives you, opportunity for earning. We are brought up with that sort of an understanding at home, at school, everywhere, and education itself, the whole system of education is built around enabling students to be employable, or to be somebody who will be able to earn a living for himself and or herself. But this is not the idea of education. If we look at originally, even from the a societal perspective, this is not a healthy way of looking at education at all, basically, and this has never been the way in which Indian society has looked at education. So education is considered to be very holistic. It is considered to be a medium with which you are able to look at how you are able to have a sustainable society, you are able to prosper, you are able to aspire, and also you are able to liberate yourself. Okay, so when we look at this, this is like you obviously have so many theories of life. We call it as Purushartha theory, where you have this scope to have a holistic life for yourself, create a sustainable society in which you are able to live, which is called as the aspect of dharma, prosper for yourself as well as for the society, which is the aspect of artha, and aspire for higher things in your life and set goals for you to achieve at your own personal level and the societal level, that is kama, and liberate yourself by not being attached to any of this from a very personal attachment way, but look at it for a higher purpose, which is what is moksha. If we want to look at it from a societal perspective, this is what we are looking at as the way of life. And this was what Indian education was aspiring to give to people at an individual as well as at a societal level. So when you look at Indian education itself, we will have to understand that it was a very advanced system of learning, which was capable of sustaining a society for millennia. We have to understand that whatever modern education that we are in right now, which is oriented towards money making, we have been with this for the past some amount of time. But we all know that India was Sone ki chidiya. It was not Sone ki chidiya on the basis of the education system that we are having now, but on a more sustainable education system, without which there has to be a knowledge base, okay, without which the society cannot prosper. The society depends for its resource generation on knowledge. So on that basis, when we look at India being a Sone ki chidiya, and some centuries ago, it would not have been possible if there was no sustainable knowledge system that could provide this support for higher prosperity at a personal and a societal level, and sustaining a civilization for years and years, right? So that being the case, we have to look at this entire Indian education from that perspective, that it is an education system which is capable of giving not just opportunity for making a living, but for living a life with a larger aspiration, which is possible. So education itself has now become very constrained in its purpose. The purpose for which you educate yourself is to be a literate person, essentially, and look at how you are, your sophistication of a person and the personality of a person is weighed against the number of degrees or whatever is the qualification that the person has attained. But that is not the way in which a human being, we many times find that you have many negatives coming into a person just because of the education. So I don't think the perspective with which we are now being given education in the contemporary scenario is the right way, because we are not looking at a sustainable sort of solutions for our students, for our learners. What should education be in that case? Education should be something that is able to give delight to us. It's able to give happiness when you're going through the process as well as the end of the process. So, and this happiness or this delight is not always something that only money can bring in. So, if you're able to give higher purposes, higher aspirations, something like, say, maybe you are a part of nation building, you're a part of creating a more sustainable society, that is some sort of an aspiration that students should look forward to. Because as young people, being the youth of the youth community, they have the strength, they have the inspiration if we show them what to aspire for, and they also have the capacity to achieve it. They have the longevity also to achieve it. So I think unless and until we bring in this understanding of education is something that should be able to provide you with the opportunity of exploring your full potential. Earning money is really not the problem. It's not so difficult to earn money. But the very idea of without education, without a qualification, you are nowhere, is creating this, sort of a mythical situation. It's a very mythical situation wherein you are put into an idea that without, earning opportunity, you're gone for. We need to understand that artha is only one of the purusharthas, while there are others which are, more fulfilling when you achieve them. So money will definitely come, and we are not discounting that, but this was possible for us to achieve in our Indian education system. Now, how do we approach the knowledge systems which were able to give us with this sort of aspirational life? Is that like how you learn everything in English these days? There are English medium schools, you're taught English from a very young age, or maybe vernacular medium schools. So language is a medium, and Sanskrit is a very powerful language medium which allows you to explore these knowledge resources which are capable of giving you that wider perspective about education and about life. So in that sense, when we provide the students with a language which allows them to explore knowledge that can create civilizational stability and sustainability, then I think we are giving them a very good, very useful tool of utility. So of course we can go with translations which are very far and few. When we compare to the kind of knowledge resources we have had in lakhs and crores, we see that we have hardly scratched the surface that we have in the Indian knowledge systems right now, with the kind of translational works or editable works or publishing or whatever we have done. If we have the opportunity to deep dive, we will definitely able to bring out many more pearls. The thing is, wonderfully, what is possible with Indian knowledge systems is they can be very nicely complemented with the current education system also. It is not difficult, because the idea of contemporarity is very much there in the Indian knowledge system since a very, very long time. You will not find any knowledge system which has the length of time, which had commentaries, debates, dialectics, which kept updating the knowledge system from time to time. Say for example, you have something called as Prachina Nyaya and you have a Navina Nyaya school, which means that there was scope for the Indian knowledge systems to always become contemporary. So this is an element which is intrinsically available in the Indian knowledge systems, which is why it is easy to complement it with the current even the contemporary education system. Attempts are being made right now to do this, and if there is some knowledge system that will be able to provide you with the kind of sustainability in life for yourself and for others, then I think that's something, the best marriage that can happen between knowledge and civilization. So I hope you all land there. Something very easily done is definitely learning Sanskrit, because according to me, this I keep telling my students this, if you don't learn Sanskrit and use a translation, you're reading 1 book, 2 book, 3 books, like 4 book, 10 books. But if you know Sanskrit, then you have a whole library to yourself to read, because the knowledge system opens out to you in that way. And is it difficult to learn Sanskrit? Then definitely no. If you're somebody who knows at least one Indian language, you already know 60% of Sanskrit. Okay, so it is a what should I say? It's a misconception if people think that Sanskrit is difficult to learn. That's not so. If you're somebody who is looking at really making your life purposeful through education, then I think spending time in learning Sanskrit is something very useful. I have been a part of this system of developing curriculum for MIT University, and integrating Indian knowledge systems into the curriculum is an exercise that we have found to be very, very interesting in one way. What we see is that when we integrate the Indian knowledge systems into the existing knowledge systems, what we are looking at is not just creating a knowledge discipline that has got specific area of knowledge into it. Because of the holistic nature of the Indian knowledge systems, you tend to integrate into it many more aspects beyond just the knowledge discipline itself. For example, ethics. If you won't even look at some aspect of, because if we look at the Indian knowledge systems, why do I have to learn Ayurveda? They will say Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. So for the sake of dharma, why should I go in for learning something like Dhanur Vidya? It's because you should, or Artha Shastra. It's because you will be able to bring in a dharma based shasana, governance into your life. Why do you need leadership? Dharma. Why do you need to have any particular aesthetic vidya? Why do you need literature? Everywhere you can see that the aspect of ethics is embedded into each and every knowledge system, which easily gets embedded. Your value education, particularly for teachers who are now looking into how to integrate value education into our education system, right, which is a very big question for them, because they are seeing that students are not able to balance their lives. They don't know where they are going, what is happening. They don't know what is good for them at this point in time. Are we able to provide them with the right sense of viveka, discrimination? Are they able to be good judges of what is good and bad, which is also something that they should be able to learn from somewhere, and they spend the maximum amount of time in their educational institutions. So when we see that all these aspects, aesthetic aspects, ethical aspects, scientific aspects, the framework of knowledge itself is quite scientific, and so the scientific aspects, spiritual aspects, when we look at a person, we need to understand that there is no happiness in just growing or prospering in one area of one's personality. You have to have a holistic, you want to be happy emotionally, you want to be happy intellectually, you want to be happy economically, you want to be happy societally, wherever you're living, you want to be happy in that space. So when we look at education being a channel of providing you with this knowledge, then I think you're giving them holistic education. So at least I know of MIT Vishwaprayag, where they are attempting at creating a curriculum which is able to integrate these aspects into whichever knowledge discipline they are taking up for creating a curriculum, and I think that's very cool. I think we are all at some point of in a juncture right now in the life of India of becoming the Vishwaguru, and if we want to become Vishwagurus, the contribution of the Indian knowledge system that is going on, right, the knowledge or the education arena that is there is going to be extremely contributive. We understand that education now is very easy with Google. It's information bombarding that is happening from everywhere, and that is what has been kind of coined now as knowledge, which is perhaps a very big misnomer. If we need to really understand that we need education. Education is something that seasons a person from within and without. Not just giving him intellectual information or bytes. That's not what it is about. So education is a transformative experience which everybody has to go through. So providing a framework, providing a framework for young adults to imbibe this sort of, experience is very important. And I think if we are able to replicate, or if we are able to have knowledge systems which are able to integrate in them these ideas and concepts, maybe something like Vishwaprayag University, then I think there is hope for becoming Vishwaguru.